Hello, welcome to Vlogmas Week 2. Hopefully we're sticking to this. It is, in fact, like an hour after I filmed my last clip. Did I put a headband on to pretend like it was a different day? Yes. Have I started another book? Not really. I am going to start The Nightmare Before Christmas, but I know myself, and that if I did not start the next vlog as soon as humanly possible, I wouldn't do it. So here we are. I don't have a whole lot to say about this. I don't really have plans for the week other than reading, hopefully. Fingers crossed to read those 3 Christmas books that I mentioned in the last vlog. If you have not seen that, it's linked down below. If you have not seen my homelessness journey, also linked down below. It's been an experience. Me and my partner were unhoused for 2 months almost. It's been a year. I'm probably going to wear, I should have put on my ho ho holy shit shirt. I have a ho ho holy shit. It's been a year as a skeleton in a Santa hat, and that's kind of how I feel at the end of 2025. But the plan is to read those 3 books this week. I will probably have more rants and raves. The issue is that I tend to rant to my partner, and then I lose all steam of said rant by the time I film a vlog clip about it, which is why actually the TikTok thing worked better for me, because it's a lot easier for me to just click the button on TikTok for some reason and just post it and never think about it again. That is not how I interact with my YouTube, unfortunately. But we're going to try to share more of my actual thoughts about the world and everything on here. So, welcome to Vlogmas Week 2. I don't know what we have in store for us besides hopefully some Christmas books. I think I'm going to start with The Nightmare Before Christmas. And we'll see how it goes. Hello, good morning. I've decided to give myself screen time today. Which, if you saw my last video, you know I was avoiding that because I was starting to get migraines. But also, it is, I don't know if you can see, I'll film a clip up there. You can probably see it better through this window. It is snowing so hard today, so I'm definitely not going anywhere. And I also finished like 3 books yesterday. So I'm giving myself a break to catch up on some Christian nationalism stuff. I also am starting to plan some videos for 2026. And the more Christian nationalist content and like podcasts and people I follow in the deconstruction space, the more I gather how I want to tell my story and what happened with me in my church cult, which I've been trying to figure out how to incorporate on here. Every time I've shared in small doses, it's gotten hit with so much backlash. So I'm like already mentally preparing for that. But yeah, I think I'm going to tell my church cult story, probably do a Q&A, hopefully, if people have other questions, because I'm so used to a lot of it. I don't know what other people want to know, because a lot of it was so normalized to me. And then I also went back and like took all of my star ratings off of Goodreads for my Christian books that I used to read, because I've had Goodreads since I think 2015, and I was in the cult from like 2013 to 2020. So I went and removed all my star ratings. I left the reviews up, but I removed the star ratings. And I also just watched an interview with Joshua Harris, which, if you were in Christian spaces, you probably know who that is. He was the guy who wrote I Kissed Dating Goodbye. If you read books and were in a Christian cult, you probably know what that is, or were in purity culture at all. So, yeah, it made me like think about when I started my deconstruction journey, and it's very obvious in my book reading when I started to think about it. And by the time I actually decided to do it in 2020, it was very interesting to look back on going through my Goodreads. But yeah, that's what I'm doing this morning, is thinking about my Christian cult and everything. But I don't know how many video updates I will give today, because I'm going to be probably in another YouTube hole. But I did start the Nightmare Before Christmas, so I am going to hopefully read some of that later this evening. That is my plan. I really like it. It's very fun. So if you have any other holiday recommendations similar to this one, please let me know. because I'm really enjoying it, and I like Sarah Rosh's writing a lot. I remember her as the person who wrote the Snow Like Ice, Snow Like Fire, whatever, Snow Like Ashes. Is that what the first one was called? That series that came out years ago. It was like a fantasy series. I never read it, but I'm familiar with her as an author, so it's interesting to me to know that I like her writing now. But yeah, I very much enjoy it. And I'm going to go back to my Christian nationalist hole and listen to people's deconstruction journeys, because that's what I do for fun these days. Hello, long time no talk. It's been like a full day and a half since I last updated. To be fair, most of what I have done has just been reading. So, at least that's going well. I am also currently obsessed with ambient videos. I wasn't until we found this one, and it is 90s Christmas, and it plays like actual commercials from the 90s. I'm not going to turn it up because I want you to be able to hear me when I talk, but it is playing actual commercials like with sound and everything from the 90s. And as somebody who was forced to leave their childhood home, as in my parents also no longer live there, was a big part of everything that happened and went down with us this year with all the moving fiascos. I've never not been in that house for some sort of holiday. And so I'm feeling real nostalgic this year. Not so much in the Christmassy mood, but definitely the nostalgia portion. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else, and maybe I'll rant about more about that later. But I have been reading The Nightmare Before Christmas. First of all, I didn't know this was by Sarah Rosh. I know of Sarah Rosh because back in the day on YouTube, her book series, the fantasy one with the cover, Song of Ice and Fire, the ice. I don't remember what it was called. It was this one. No, Snow Like Ashes. That's what it was called. And this book was everywhere when I first joined Booktube. I never read it, but I will definitely be trying it now because I read The Nightmare Before Christmas, and it was so cute. I love me a good queer book in general. I love me a good queer Christmas book. Honestly, that's most of the Christmas books, if I read any in the last several years, it's going to be a queer one. But this was so cute. It had like a dash of magic. I love Cole so much. And I loved her writing style. And I immediately jumped into the somewhat less Christmassy sequel, which is about the St. Patrick's Day prince and stuff. But I'm obsessed. I'm about halfway through that one. And I have another one of her books out from Kindle Unlimited. And I put like a hold on Snow Like Ashes. I don't know anybody that has read that since that era of Booktube, but I hope that it's fun because I'm having a great time reading her books. What else have I done? We went to Costco, got a few like essentials. We go through rice a lot. Like the microwave sticky rice is like an obsession of mine and my partner's. And the Costco croissants, if you know, you know. They're our favorites. So I never remember to film vlog clips while I'm out, so I need to start remembering to do that. To be fair, I'm definitely being a hermit. I was like this in Vegas too. I didn't like to leave the house because it was 100 plus degrees, and now I'm like, it's cold, I don't want to go out there, which is a normal thing for me in the winter. But I also am like, I feel like it's really hard to learn a new area in unpleasant weather. So either really cold or really hot were the last two places that I have lived, and I did not have a good time with either of them. I also, if you didn't know, I don't drive, and so I have a lot of driving anxiety. And the people in Detroit, if you've ever been to Atlanta, Atlanta's driving and traffic is some of the worst traffic I've ever seen. Like, they just do whatever they want on those like 6-lane highways. That's how it feels here, but everywhere. Like even on like 2-lane roads, just doesn't matter. 3-lane highway, speeding in the right lane. Who cares? All of our exits are on the left, so we speed in whatever lane we want. There is no passing lane. It's free for all. It feels like Mario Kart out here. So I try not to go out, especially when it would require going on the highway. I've never clicked please avoid highways more on my GPS in my life than I have in the few weeks that we've been here. But yeah, I honestly have been catching up on TikTok, considering I don't really know what's going on with the TikTok ban that's supposedly coming up here in like a week or two. So catching up on there, following everybody on other platforms, but I know that I needed to update this before I forgot and before I finished yet another book. I also still have both of those other two rom-com Christmassy books by Catherine Walsh out. So I'm hoping to get those done before I put this video up on Monday for Vlogmas. I also, if you didn't know, have been posting a ton of shorts. Anytime that I don't have an upload, like a full video upload, I have probably posted a short, like 9 times out of 10. So if you would like to follow me, if you would like to go see shorts, actually, in the comments down below, please let me know if you watch shorts on YouTube, because I will be fully frank with you, I really did not, and still don't very much, unless it's somebody that I like really want more content from. And even then I usually go to TikTok. But again, with the possible new TikTok ban, maybe I will get more into shorts. I know I've gotten more into the like nostalgia shorts. Those are really all the shorts I watch on here, but I've been trying to up the shorts game. I'm currently testing whether or not I need to post 1 or 2 a day, because different sources say different things of which is better for growth. So I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. Comment down below if you watch shorts, what you think of shorts compared to other short form content platforms like Reels or TikTok, whatever. I would like your opinion on that. But I'm going to go back to my TikTok doom scrolling, and I will probably talk to you in the morning. Hello, I am here to end the vlog, and this is probably going to be one of the shorter ones because I got sick again this week. But I wanted to wrap up a few of the things that I read in this video, also show you our current daily, what are these called? Ambiance videos. We're really obsessed with these. And I also didn't get a whole lot of reading done compared to what I was planning, mainly because, one, we got sick again. We're like fighting off a cold. I don't think that it's COVID as somebody who's had it before, but we're hoping vitamin C and Alka-Seltzer get that out of here before we have to travel for the holidays next week. So here's hoping on that. Also, the fact that Christmas is next week is really hurting my brain, and we obviously, if you've been following along with our story, do not have the funds to be getting people Christmas presents this year, so we might go thrifting later this week when we feel a little better and get a couple of random things for family and such, just so we have something. But also, my family is not somebody who would be offended if we ended up getting nothing, so there's that. But I did end up finishing, I don't remember if I said this in my last clip, because we've been watching a lot of movies, which is out of the ordinary for me at least. I did end up finishing Go Luck Yourself by Sarah Rosh. I can't wait for the 3rd book in the series. I have no idea when it's coming out. I want to say it's sometime next year. But I'm really, really excited for Iris' story, and I really think I will enjoy a sapphic one of these. I also will say I don't mind the spice in these after I complained about all the spice in Fairytale in last week's vlog. Apparently it's not necessarily that I have an issue with spice, it's just I have to like the characters to give any sort of care about the spice, so because I love the spice in both of these. Referring to Go Luck Yourself and what's it called, The Nightmare Before Christmas. I do still plan on reading those Catherine Walsh books of holiday romance and whatever the other one is called. I'm currently trying to read Krampus before my library hold runs out, because this will be like the 3rd year in a row that I've just let my library hold run out. And since I'm not reading as many Christmassy books this year, I figured this would be a good year to read it. I'm like 60% in. It's okay. It's going the way of most of Brahms' books. Of I liked really, really like some aspects of it, and other aspects I'm just like, that's how I felt about Lost Gods. That's how I felt about The Child Thief. And then Slewfoot is the only one that I've really, really loved so far. So it's probably going to be a 4 stars. If you want to see me finish it and get my full thoughts, that'll be in next week's Vlogmas. And then, like I said, me and my partner have actually been watching not only a bunch of these ambiance for when I read during the day and he gets some work done, but also we've been watching a lot of movies. Like, he's woken me up when we haven't been feeling good the last couple of days with like a movie or a musical on the screen. So we've watched Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, like the claymation ones that most of us, if you're a millennial, you probably grew up with. We watched Year Without a Santa Claus, which is my favorite Christmas movie and has been since I was a child. This one always makes me cry. This movie is the reason I believed in Santa until I was like older than most people, because of the song Just Believe in Santa Claus. If you know, you know. And then what else did we watch? Oh, Star Kid randomly dropped VHS Christmas Carols, which is the show that I went and saw last year, and I have a whole video vlog link. I'll link that down below if you didn't see it, of my excursion to Chicago last year to go see that live. We went and saw it twice, the second time being sort of spontaneous. And they didn't end up doing it this year for a myriad of reasons involving a lot of the cast members, but they plan to bring it back next year. And so they randomly just dropped this on their YouTube channel for free this year without even any sort of announcement on like Friday night. And we all scrambled to watch it because VHS Christmas Carols has like a very, very special place in my heart. It's one of Clark's musicals. I love Clark's music and I have loved it for a long time. And there's just so much heart to this, but also Jim and Della's story. Since they've added the stories at the beginning of this of Gift and the Magi and Little Match Girl before the Christmas Carol portion of the show, I'm so attached to Jim and Della, and I'm so glad that more people can see their story, because I feel like theirs is the most relatable of all the stories in VHS Christmas Carols. But yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about and you like the story of A Christmas Carol, I highly recommend going and watching this. You can easily go watch it even if you know nothing about Star Kid or anything like that. It's a quick 90-minute show. It's in 2 parts. The second part being the story of the Christmas Carol, which they've been performing in some way, shape, or form for the last 5 years, as opposed to this year, which they have taken off, but it's one of my favorite shows Star Kid has ever done. And we also watched The Santa Claus with Tim Allen. This is my other favorite Christmas movie. If I watch nothing else, I try to make sure that I watch Year Without a Santa Claus, now Christmas Carol, like the VHS Christmas Carols when it's available to watch from Star Kid, and then The Santa Claus with Tim Allen, which is by far my favorite Christmas movie of all time. It's just very, very nostalgic to me because I grew up watching it. And then what was the other thing we watched? Oh, my partner showed me this movie called Babes in Toyland, which is one that he grew up watching. It has like not infant, it's just like a little girl of Drew Barrymore's in it, and then it also has Keanu Reeves. I've never seen anything Keanu Reeves has ever been in. I'm not a big movie person, but I'm vaguely aware of him, and he was very young in this movie. So this was a weird movie. I don't necessarily recommend it unless it's something you grew up with, because it's very much like old style 80s movie with like fantasy elements, if you know what I'm talking about, like the time period of like Neverending Story and all of those, of like animatronics and stuff. It was interesting. I did not like it. And then we watched Rent, which is my favorite musical of all time, and arguably I think it's a Christmas movie. So we ended up watching this, and I'm excited to see my friends in it that are going to be in a production of it in January that we're going to go see back in Ohio. Yeah, that's what I've been up to. Actually, a lot of movies this week, so not as much reading has been done, but like I feel like it's a decent amount considering I haven't been reading a whole lot in this latter part of the year. But if you would like to see what I get up to, if you would like to hear my thoughts on Krampus when I finish it, that will be in next week's vlog. But I hope you all enjoyed this. If you did, leave me the fire emoji in the comments down below for some interaction. But thank you all for watching, and I will see all of you guys next time.